all you misfits out there, and welcome to our Skeptic Bible Study episode, The Midnight Massacre, dun, 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 where tonight God commands our main man, Charlton Heston, Moses, to slaughter the majority of Midianites, keep the virgin girls for themselves, and plunder.
Why not?
Exactly. Whatever is left, because they're the good guys. So come
They had
join.
it coming.
They had it coming. They had it coming. So come join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, as we swing back into the Book of Numbers. Oh,
Back to the Bible.
Woohoo! What
Hey,
is
Brian.
up, everyone out there in the interwebs? And I want to thank you as we connect, and I don't even know how they fit all of the internet through those tubes. But if you're feeling fancy, please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. Woo-hoo!
Do it all.
Said that. That's right, baby. Do it
Hey,
all.
Pat.
Then set that bell icon to all so you can get reminders to join our live streams or see our premieres. And woohoo! What is up? Brian Stevens, Tinkle Tink, Comrade
Pat.
Jerry, Pat Lowinger, Maria. Woohoo! I hope you are all doing awesome. And with that, I think we're going to have to hand it over to Gilbert. The floor is yours.
Some of you may be new to this abomination of a study. These schmucks begin by reading each episode's chapters along with the annotations on the side for funsies. The hosts are a tiny bit special, so don't mind if they butcher or replace everybody's name with something completely horrible or stupid. However, the gibberish that spews forth from their face holes will still be an attempt at reading this book from cover to cover, which I'm sure has tons of wisdom or an insight on whether we can or cannot put things up our butt. If you have time to waste screaming internet memes at random strangers, then join the Discord. Or scream at them personally at your YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch streams. Finally, don't forget to support these idiots doing more lame shenanigans at Amy Newman's Patreon page. All right, schmucks, back to you.
Woohoo! Thank you so very much, Gilbert. And thank you so very much, Shane. Totally had to get that blue snowball connected. I hope you can all hear me way better now. But we want to thank you. And thanks to all of our Patreons over at patreon.com/Amy Newman, which
Amy Newman.
make even more fun content, including awesome Patreons like KO Champ.
Yay.
one day. Also, remember, Kate, go for the head. Or else I think half of the population on Earth get eliminated. But not KO Champ, because he is amazing and triggering the Abrahamic religions, which we often do, I will admit.
It does happen from time to time.
Sometimes, every once in a while. But we are also sending love to us from the Atheist Roundtable and Tang Gang, the Atheist Network Group connecting Atheist Tang Gang. Yo, in fact,
Which Amy will be there tomorrow.
Woohoo! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, we are going to have a fantastic LGBT-themed event in the non-believer umbrellaed community and allies, because I want to include any metaphorical theist out there that's like, hey, you know what? We shouldn't stone the gays unless, you mean get the gays stoned, in which case you're just tell me your address in the DMs. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are sending so much love to
Our
us.
Tang Gang.
And check that out tomorrow. Check out tart.live or just go to the YouTube channel Tang Gang.
You know the place. You know the channel.
That's right. Well, I will say it has been said before that the non-believer community does it better.
You could say that.
You could say that. Some people are saying that. But yes, we are sending love. And also, as we level up in the non-believer community, yeah, to scale, ladies and gentlemen, this heart, definitely. Woo, sending love to Ian Davenport.
Ian.
Doesn't look designed to me. Looks kind of just grounded down through natural processes. I don't know. But we're sending love, and we're also, when we listen to basically all of, I want to say, creationist claims, but really any claim that doesn't have evidence and they just kind of assert it, well, it makes us and a grumpy old cuss go bleep, bleep, bleep. Whew.
Does raise tensions a little bit.
It does. It just makes us think, hey, get out there in the lab and wait until your butt gets evidence, and then you can assert it. Because if you just assert it without evidence...
That's a lot of work, though. I mean...
It is a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. You want God? You going to put God on the payroll? I mean... Who are you?
Going to test God? Really? Who are you, exactly, to do such a thing? Well... a bunch of heathens like Diana Smith.
Thank you, Diana.
Which somehow equals one Sailor Moon. That's how my math goes there.
A trinity. Sailor Moon is a trinity. You didn't know that?
That's right. I had to learn.
You didn't know that?
Now it's all starting to make sense, James.
There you go.
Just put it together. But yes, thank you so much, Diana Smith.
Thank you, Diana.
Also reminding us in the skeptic community, a reminder to the theistic, more specifically the creationist and the, let's just say, the people taking the biblical morality, that women are...
Amy... we're trying to get monetized. Come on. You can't be saying controversial things like that.
I'm sorry. Look, I said it once. I said the H word. But, if you look in the good book, it sometimes isn't clear. You have men over here and then you have livestock over here and women kind of over here. So it's always nice to just give a good reminder.
Human.
Exactly.
Sometimes they're livestock. It depends on the context.
The context.
Yeah.
That's what you need to understand. Thank you so much, Diana Smith.
Thank you, Diana.
Our favorite archaeologist, the resident archaeologist. We are sending love to Pat Lowinger.
Pat.
As we're already in the talk about more episodes about Talk Skeptic to Me, as well as many awesome
we need a good Talk Skeptic
that
to Me.
You should check out, like a archaeological look at sacredness, where it turns out that, one religion goes away, either dying, dissipating, or moving out via contractually obligated copyrighted song. And then after they come in, they're like, hey, wouldn't this temple be a wonderful church? And then that church becomes a wonderful mosque, and then that wonderful mosque becomes a museum. And boy, gee golly, I love that transition. I can transition to that all night.
Pat just did an episode on Christmas on the Biddy Buddha channel for their new That's That show, and they talked about that Christians basically taking over what was a pagan holiday and saying that we won, we took over, now we run this now, so it's okay.
And now we have new digs and new holidays, and just, it would be a shame if we cut down a tree and decorated it, because it says not to do that in the book. But you know what? It'd be kind of cool if we did it anyway. So,
But they can do it anyway because they run the shit now.
There, exactly. When you're in control.
There you go.
But love to Pat, and new episodes coming soon. And also sending love to, as we look for, like we were saying, it doesn't have to be a lot of empirical evidence, but Dale Pastel and all of the skeptics would like, I don't know, a little bit of empirical evidence, and not the Shroud of Turin, because that is a forgery. A whittle evidence. Yes, just a little.
Triggering Otangelo, yay!
And I will say, I do love everyone out there, our theist brothers and sisters, no matter who they are out there in the internet-osphere. We're just doing a little roasting and toasting, and we're sending love.
Friendly roasting.
I see X Music. I see Roger Shrum. We're
sending Roger.
Love. But
got somebody on Twitch.
Sending love to
the Twitch stream.
Woo-hoo.
Marie Costin on Twitch, having a pre-LGBT party for tomorrow night.
Woohoo! If these headphones were wireless, I would twirl. Close enough. Anyway, sending love to everyone out there, and also sending love to, Dave Gar. Just look, we don't mean to be picky. I don't feel like a few thousand years is spoil proof. I feel like at that point we should be able to say, look, yes, it came out on episode 6. The Earth is round. I hate to, just put it right out there. But if you haven't seen Netflix Bronze Age lately, it's been a great series up to now. Lots of these. But hey, we learned stuff on the way, including, she just looks a little thick. I'm just saying, not that we're hating. In fact, we think it's kind of cool. But hey, if you're a flat earther, I was almost going to say a flurf. In fact, I think I just did. But you're welcome to come on as well. you can use
Even though
the
Amy
satellite technology
loves
that we
flips.
get our internet that's globally orbiting
Well,
the
of course,
Earth.
there
So
are
this
flat
is-
earthers all over the globe. Did you know that, Amy?
I did. That's James. It's funny how that works, and we're just looking for a model too. A little bit of a model. They could just draw. What's funny is you would think if you're going to commit that much to like disagreeing with the vast majority of both
Maybe
theistic and atheistic, just everybody, you think you would
Yeah.
just sit there and just draw up something. I don't know why.
Maybe on the
they
back
choked
of a
on
bar
that
napkin.
question. Yeah, I mean, really,
Do
if
their-
you're gonna plunge
their
that
model.
hard, just grab some crayons and bring something to the debate. They can't even seem to do that. But
You make the model, brah.
And also sending love, another thing that we always talk about, because sometimes they might look down a little bit on other animals. In fact, they always love to say, "Do you think
Other
we like
animals.
Are we
Other animals.
How dare you? Are you making me down to the dirt?" And it's like, no, it's not that we look so down at ourselves. It's that we have understood that animals have their own thing. Other animals have their own thing going on. Like the snake doesn't need legs. The snake is not trying to be a bipedal animal. That's not its goal.
You mean it wasn't punished by God taking its legs away? Didn't think, man, I wish I had those legs.
We don't talk about Applegate. Totally. But yes, we're sending love to Scott Duke.
Scott Duke.
Oh man, that story is just a tale of bad parenting. I don't even understand how Adam and Eve could ever be and they're like, but they broke. They ate the apple. Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. Do you wonder, have you ever raised any child ever? You have both put something and basically said you could do whatever you want except for this yummy fruit tree of knowledge right in front of you. It's a good thing you don't have any knowledge. This is going to go great. No. That experiment, I'm sure, will go fine, ladies and gentlemen. And that's where Child Protective Services
came up with it.
I know. The Almighty couldn't have thought of anything better. Somehow gets foiled by the snake plus legs. I mean, it's the plus legs that really, I think, just got under the deity. I would say he slithered his way through, but I guess not.
He walked.
He walked. That's how he knew. He's like, I'll never let this walk behind me again. And so now everything slithers right behind us. It's perfect logic. But yes, we're sending
the best logic.
The best logic. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you just got to stroke that brain. But yes, we are sending love to the lead hyena of the pack, Scott Duke, and we are sending love to Regis, who once again, welcome to our Skeptic Bible Study, reminding us that the Bible sometimes gets a little thespian, a little Shakespearean. It actually isn't faking it. They were writing it for the time, unlike the Book of Mormon. Yeah, I'm gonna
Reformed
add
Egyptian
to it, and then they'll totally believe it. Yeah,
Reformed Egyptian.
I know. Yeah. I'm glad that it was reformed. It was going through a tough time. It just, came out the other side. Now reformed. But yes, thank you so much, Regis. Like I said, as the Bible likes to get a little thou shalt stabby.
A little bit.
Little bit. In fact, kind of reminds me of the chapter tonight. Stabby,
a little bit.
stabby.
Yeah. Parental
So thank
advisory.
you so very much, Regis.
Thanks, Regis.
And last but certainly not least, we are sending love to Rachel Holland.
Rachel.
This is about as much as a copyrighted song as I can sing. Woo! Thank you so much, Rachel. And reminding us, of course, that the Bible would never condone slavery. In fact, I can't even imagine someone in this day and age doing that. You know, slavery is just it's an evil that I think is always going to be around until we come out there and try to But you know what? A God should have known that. A God should have been kind of like, hey, you know what? I know this is, we had 10 commandments, but, you know, we're going to just take off like maybe one or two. Maybe we're going to make it like the 11 commandments, and we're just going to say, thou cannot be a slave, or thou shalt not own others as property.
But Amy, everybody was doing it. All the other civilizations were doing it. So if God came around and said that, they would have said, "What the hell is this God talking about? This is a crazy God we got." I mean, God that would be like God telling the guys to cut off part of their genitals. It would just be like something so crazy that they would say, "No, we're not going along with this."
Well, I mean, we should be born perfect, so I can't imagine why a God would make us born in a way that we would have to, you know, modify our genitals. But, you know, funny how that God seems to work. I guess every once in a while he's not as perfect as they say he is. Maybe that's just the marketing.
Good. He needs a better PR firm.
Needs a better PR firm. Exactly. But yes.
That whole complaint department being held, that is just, yeah.
Well, you know where the complaint department is, and it's generally right down there in the fiery place. Whew. But yes, thank you to all of our Patreons.
Thanks, guys.
To all of you out there watching on the interweb, and viewers like you guys are who even make this channel and content possible. And during our Skeptic Bible studies, we try to greet everyone on screen. Hello. However, if you want your specific thoughts, questions, or one-liners read out loud, help us find your comment by tagging James W.
We might see it.
In chat at Amy Newman. Exactly. After the chapters are done, we will be switching into the open mic so you can tell us face to face about the wisdom we just experienced. And oh my, is there a lot of experience in this chapter. And hey, if this is your first time in the series, you may be asking, what version of the Bible are we about to read? Why, what a fantastic question. And that
categories, you say?
To our categories. Before we begin, I'm going to start by going over the specific Bible we'll be reading, along with some helpful category marks. Categories, you say? Why, yes I do. You see, we're going to be reading from the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, an entire King James Bible lovingly fawned over by a skeptic who decided he would add his own notations. These are little flagpoles of sanity put in use to remind us that, hey, maybe slavery is evil, including categories like absurdity, injustice, and cruelty, but also a good amount of intolerance, contradictions, and conflicts with science or history. That doesn't mean it's not packed full of misogyny, false prophecy, and some questionable biblical family values. Now, we won't skip the good parts that the Bible has, only that these passages seem far fewer in number than any priest or pastor seems to suggest. So without further ado, won't you come join the Skeptic crew? Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Da-da-da-da.
Focus, Newman. Focus.
That's right. Welcome, everyone, to our Skeptic Bible Study. On the previous episode, sacrificial vows. Aww. We ordered some food to go as God commanded sacrifices on Trumpet Blowing Day, my favorite day, and Holy Convection Day, before telling us vows for men or women. Oh my.
Wow.
In this episode, the Midianite Massacre, God commands Moses to slaughter the majority of Midianites. Mm-hmm. Keep the virgin girls for
as
themselves.
You would do.
And plunder whatever's left. Yeah, because once again, they're the good guys. So with that, how are you tonight, James? And are you ready to swing into the book of Numbers?
Doing all right tonight. So we have a special episode coming up that will be premiering in a few days that we're working on.
That's right.
Special interview. Don't miss it. Stay tuned for that. And then we have a debate coming up.
That's right. In fact, I think so that interview just has to be, I got to put the final touches on the post-production, and then that interview will be uploaded. I think it was great. It's going to be a surprise guest. I think you guys will definitely enjoy it. And then both of our interviewees, our debaters, our interlocutors, have already agreed to the subject, and so look forward to both Mark Reed and Bibble for the win, going up head to head. I'm looking forward to it. And all right, and
head to head,
even more, like more new shows coming out in the coming weeks. So tons of skeptic and non-believer and ally content. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping into the Midnight Massacre as we read the book of Numbers, chapter 31. Woohoo! And my lordy, do we have such a fantastic range of categories tonight.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. I mean, you can't have a Bible without either sex or violence. And so violence, okay. We got a good stabby. And let me tell you, this seems to be a primary chapter of that example. But of course, where would the Bible be if it wasn't treating women fairly, which I'm sure is about to be what we're going to observe in this chapter, a good helping of feminism. I always like when the Bible can speak from thousands of years ago and predict the future, morally speaking. But
Bible feminism.
Bible feminism, exactly. Which of course, is going to be judgmental, because you can't have a God figure if he's not going to have judgments. And who are we except for really the one of the only species among others that can judge? I love that question. Who are you to judge? We're the ones who have minds. We are literally the creatures that do that. Who is he to judge? Can you prove that mind without a brain exists? Nonetheless.
Well, but he's God. I mean.
But he's God. Exactly.
It doesn't matter. He can still send you to hell. So what are you going to do, atheists?
call Ghostbusters. What you gonna do? But there's no hell yet, at least. Now,
We haven't got there
seems
yet.
to be, yes. Now, that's when I let the Jews or the Torah or whatever off the hook for that, that comes with a counterbalance of Yahweh is still a big dick. And so I don't really know what that gives us.
You said God has a big dick.
If the serial killer in the movie is like, oh no, I'm gonna let you off the hook after you die, he's not the good guy. That doesn't make it much better. It really doesn't. But okay, I guess it makes it better than forever torture. Sure. Hi, Shane.
Hey, Shane.
What is up, everyone out there on the interwebs? And no, it is not just judgment. We have some good old intolerance. And that is what I really like about the Bible and religion in general, is just sometimes you need to separate people for just really arbitrary things and then go to war over them and then maybe even kill somebody. I mean, it just makes sense if you really don't think about it at all, actually.
You would want to set up an us versus them. We're the good guys because we just are. They're bad because they're not us. And there you go.
Very black and white lines, no need for nuance or really trying to understand human beings for who they are.
They worship another god. They're bad.
Exactly. That shit's bunch of baby shit. But not just that. But speaking of baby shit, in fact, it's the Bible family values. That is what I think I really like, is that you can just understand, like selling your daughter into slavery. You just really start to understand biblical morality.
Well, look, there are tough conversations around the dinner table with family budgets, and back then that needed to be an option. The whole, we're having trouble making ends meet. Got a daughter over here. She's 13. How much do you think we can get for her?
James, you got to pay the bills, right?
I mean, we're not going to be able to take care of her, so it's actually in her best interest to sell her, right? Right?
Now you're thinking, and it's a female. I mean, come on. Once she grows up, she's just going to be livestock anyway, according to, well, I don't think we have another category. Oh, well, wait. Oh, that's weird. It seems that, I hate to do it, but there might actually be a contradiction in the Bible. Huh. I don't know.
I would be very skeptical about that,
Amy. James, that was the exact word I was going to use. I think we're going to have to be skeptical because I've never seen a contradiction in the Bible before in all of our Bible studies. And so I think the annotations are really going to have to explain how this came about.
That's going to be a tall order to try to prove that.
Mm-hmm. But the Bible, it does miracles, apparently. That's what they tell us. They've been pretty evil miracles with a lot of people dying, but I feel like this is the chapter where it's all going to come together and everyone's going to just walk out hand in hand in happiness.
Well, the people who walk out, they'll be happy. The people who don't walk out, well, they don't walk out.
Picky.
I don't hear any complaints from them. Do you?
James, it's funny. Once you get sent to the complaint department, there is rarely any complaints. Funny how that works. Anyway,
I don't hear anything.
Don't hear follow-ups. As you join us on Numbers chapter 31, 3/4 of the way through the book. We're moving through. The pace of the turtle But that's okay. That's how we get there, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going page through page, right in order as you join us in the Midianite Massacre. They had it coming. They had it coming. They only had Yahweh to blame.
They must have done something wrong.
They must have, right, James. Look, they were hungry probably, and they probably asked him for food or something.
Rookie mistake.
It's a rookie mistake, honestly. Once you start talking to the God, really, you should be sacrificing things to him. It has to be a him in these Abrahamic religions, or else they freak the F out. Anyway, welcome to the Midnight Massacre, which is clearly going to end in hugs. And the Lord Bob Spack. He spack all over onto our main man, Charlton Heston, who, let me tell you, is a dead man walking.
He's got one of those face shields.
Only because that's what God said is coming. So we'll see. Saying, return to the Avengers Initiative, and the children of Israel, Shmishmael, of the Midianites, who I'm pretty sure are a people from Final Fantasy VII, afterward, shalt thou be gathered until thy people. I'm sorry, what? God said to Moses, take revenge on the Midianites, because that's how you know he's an all-loving God. Then you will die. Wow. What a great trade-off. But his people are going to get in. It's good. It'll be fine. And Charlton Heston spack in return, because he was used to it, onto the people. Oh man, it was hot. Saying, arm some of yourself onto war. That's how you know the Bible is a book of love, ladies and gentlemen.
As always, yeah.
As
Lots
always.
of love.
Go to the war on drugs? No, a little bit different. And let them go against the Midianites from Final Fantasy VII and Avengers Initiative. Actually, it's like the Unavengers Initiative and the Unavenged Initiative, blah, 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 the Lord Bob of Midian. Oh, because the Midianites live in Midian. I mean, that does kind of make sense. Ooh, what is up, Amaretto?
Hey, welcome. Good to see you, Amaretto.
Of every tribe, 1,000. Throughout all the tribes of Israel Shmishmael shall ye send to war. And I was wondering, we were just going through a census, a fantastic census, where
the best census.
The best census, because you need to count everybody.
Numerous times, over and over again.
And it always goes out to a round number. That's what I love. It's always like 400,020. Oh,
well,
exactly.
What do you think they would do if they had 21? Would you want to be that one guy at the end?
I am fairly sure from this logic, they would just shoot they'd just arrow that guy. They'd be like, look, we need to have even numbers. We cannot go into war with 12,430. Needs to be 12,000, ladies and gentlemen. And I always love talk about tribes. I hate that word, except if you're using it in an anthropological context. Then I'm completely okay with it, because there are tribes out there.
Amy's all about the
I'm just not a fan of context. Just not a fan of tribalism. That tends to be the thing that I don't like. Which I'm sure will not be a factor in this chapter at all. But yes, all of those people that you counted over and over, the Midianites of Midian, the Blublanites of Blublanite.
Bob of
the Bob of the Bobanites. Like, it was so correlated that I don't understand why they even. It wasn't like the Sarahs of the Davidites. No, it was the David of the Davidites, and it was like no originality at all. Whoever was penning this, I just think eventually was like, look, they're gonna read the other chapters way more. Who's going to check my census? No one's going to check that out. So it'll be fine. It's just filler, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like it's not the Sermon on the Mount. They'll be fine.
Page filler. They got to fill the page up with something, right?
Exactly. It's like after a certain number of books, just like a certain number of what is it called? Seasons, you just got to have some filler, okay? So they were delivered, Papa John's. Oh, were they? Oh, out of the thousands. Oh, I mean, that sounds like a wish that then it could kind of like the devil's agreement where,
hey, Doug,
we have to deal with thousands. What is up, Doug? And thank you so very much. We're sending love right back.
She is amazing.
Amazing. And they were delivered out. Good. Thousands. We got thousands of pizzas for Israel Shishmael. 1,000 of every tribe. I mean, this is getting, I was going to say Games of Thronesy, but I would actually give it more to the Lord of the Rings. I would say 12,000 armed for war. All right, we're ready. This definitely sounds like the good guy.
Send in the tranny.
And James, you're the good guy when you're mass preparing troops to invade a group of people and slaughter them. That's how you're the good guy. That's how that works. I'm fairly sure.
I mean, who else would do something like that? I mean, what else can you say?
I know. Hey, like I said, they might have had it coming. They
did something to piss somebody off.
I just find it so funny also that God has someone else do his dirty work. Like you couldn't do it yourself. You had to actually.
You mean like when he flooded the planet? You think he's gonna? Yeah.
Didn't then he didn't have Noah like go out there and strangle each person hand to hand. Like that would have been a very different chapter. I mean, I'm not even sure it would be that much more. Would it be that much more evil? I'm trying to weigh.
Noah go around like the Incredible Hulk.
Either way, exactly. But I mean, once again, it just reminds me of my poof or drown, which is I say mine, which is I really got from Pine Creek. The fantastic mind thought experiment, which is would you, given the choice that Yahweh comes down and he's like, look, remember the whole Noah thing? Turns out I need to do that again because Hollywood loves sequels. And so I'm giving you the choice. We're going to either drown everyone again, or you could poof them away out of existence. I was just a big fan of Infinity War. And you're left with the decision that if you decide poof, you in some way have to admit that, well, why? Why'd you pick poof? Well, I really just didn't want to hear everybody drowning and, their lungs filling with water.
Water.
You might have to admit to yourself and to God that you have a better moral code than him. But, who are we, James? Who are we to judge? We can't judge him. He's 4D, 5D chess up here, and we're too busy playing checkers. It just looks like when you stab someone through the chest that it's really bad.
We got Amy playing Judge Judy down here.
That's right. Look. You. And it's the funny thing is, once again, the only people that do judge and then we end up sending them to jail, that entire process, humans. The only people that we have evidence of actually judging and then actually fulfilling what would be considered any form of justice, and even if we disagree on the logistics and a lot of what comes out on the other end, it's going to be humans. Whether we make the system better or not, whether you like the system, it's humans. That's the only one that can actually judge. So you want to tell us otherwise, please bring us evidence. Though this is the good book, the Torah,
the best
Old
book.
Testament. But yes, let's go to war.
A war. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Exactly. And Charlton Heston, who has not been getting the contracts that he wanted lately, sent them to war. He was like, oh my goddess, is this really going to be a real-time strategy? Oh, okay. And the countdown climber is on. And go. Oh man, my pylons aren't even up yet. Anyway, he sent them to war.
I didn't upgrade my barracks to level 10 yet.
Damn it.
So I can't make the flaming axe throwers.
My favorite.
Yeah.
As long as you don't Zerg rush, okay? Just don't Zerg rush. But yes, Moses, our main man, Charlton Heston, is apparently a war commander now. My, how far he came from like the baby in the basket and being saved. Now he's going to war before he dies. Fantastic. They don't tell that in Hebrew school, in Sunday school. Yeah, why not? And they went to war, 1,000 of every tribe. Ding, 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 ding. Them and the pineapples, the son of Els and Zabardanar, the priest.
Oh, Zabardanar. Oh,
Zabardanar, exactly.
Went to college with Zabardanar.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. To the war with very holy instruments. They were filled with holes. That's how holy they were. And the trumpets to blow in his hand. Whatever you want to call it these days.
Blow that trumpet, Amy.
Blow that trumpet, baby.
You know Amy. She's always blowing on a trumpet.
As hard as I can. So, yeah, I mean, it's very simple. 12,000 soldiers were armed for war. 1,000
soldiers
from
of science.
Tribes. Penena's bread, had the trumpets and the holy instruments. Yo, this really is like the Lord of the Rings. They really do have some like boom, 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 while like you have the soldiers up in the front.
Soldiers of science.
Moving forward. Man, this is I would call it metal, but that's really not what you'd associate with the god of love. Like, so let's just say maybe he hasn't gone through therapy yet. And they warred, as you do when you're the chosen people, against the Midianites from Final Fantasy VII. As the Lord Bob commanded Charlton Heston, who was really pissed he should have joined the union, the Actors Union. I love
Film Actors Guild.
Film Actors Guild. That was exactly what I
from Team America.
Team America.
Well, you remember the movie? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Matt and Trey are amazing. They're not just amazing. They're a special event. Anyway, Let's get back to the morality. If you just joined
Oh,
us,
yeah.
we're reading Numbers chapter 31.
Not Tolkien.
Not Tolkien. No, then we would find actual wisdom. We would find real moral conundrums as our hearts were pulled into different fractions. This seems pretty clear cut. I mean, not sure why this God could...
Them bad, we kill.
Yeah.
Take their young women. All your girls belong to us now.
And I think like Shane was saying, and like many non-believers were saying, this chapter specifically, just like Exodus, Leviticus 21 with slavery, this is another one where we are witnessing what I would call biblical morals. But yes, and they warred against the Midianites from Final Fantasy VII, as the Lord Bomb commanded Charlton Heston, and they slew all the males. It was Exodus 21. Yeah, it's not some pretty stuff. I'm still waiting for the all-loving God to come in.
Next chapter, I'm sure he'll be much more loving.
But once again, and they slew all the males. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Just once again, these are the Israelites just going through and just slaughtering every dude they can find. This is the religion that you're telling us you support. I don't know. Seems a bit evil to me. Oh, good. It's about to get more moral. And they slew, which I assume means hug. You know what? We're doing this wrong. And they hug tightly the kings of Midian. Oh, much better. Besides the rest of them, they were given nice kisses with a sword. Namely, Eevee from Pokemon, Wreck-'em Ralph, Zur, Badurbadur, and Herbadurbadurr.
Oh.
They were twins. And
quite an assortment.
Quite an assortment. Nonetheless, they were valedictorians of their school. So you can make fun of them all you want, but Zur and her were going places. Okay. And Reba, who is kind of the black sheep of the family, kind of wanted to be a creative music expressionist teacher. But look, you got to follow your dreams, ladies and gentlemen. Do what you want, Reba, until you get slain. But the 5 kings of Midian from Final Fantasy VII, Balaam, Nis, also the son of Beor, well, they kind of slew with kisses his ass with a sword. No. Totally moral. And the children of Israel Shmishmael of the corn took all the women of Midian from Final Fantasy VII captives and their little ones. Oh, we're looking at morality again, ladies and gentlemen. And took the spoil of all their cattle. Oh, God, don't take our bullocks. We work so hard. We work through so many miscongenialities. And all their flocks and all their goods. Ah, you bastards. And they burnt all their cities. How would you like your city? I wanted it medium, but it already looks well done. Jesus. Wherein they dwelt. Yeah, that is where you dwell.
Used to.
Yes, where they used to dwell. Past tense. And all their goodly castles with Well, everything was fine until the Fire Nation attacked. And I'm starting to, I think, understand which nation that is. Jesus H. Christ. But nonetheless, and they took all their spoil because that's what the good guys do. And all the
they can't let everything go to waste. They're not
Exactly.
going to need it anymore.
Look, you can't eat if you're dead. So if you think about it, they're really doing them a favor.
All their problems are solved, right?
That's right. They had 99 problems, and now they have 0. And they took all the spoil, like the good guys do, and all the prey, both of men and of beasts, which is a weird sentence. Didn't change a word of that. And they brought the captives. Oh, goody. Please, please take us to your merciful God who just killed everyone. I mean, this is how you create assassins. This is how you create people of vengeance. I hope you killed everybody, because if not, you're going to get a dude or a lass who's going to come for your head, of you, your children, of everyone that you hold dear, because I don't know, you just killed everyone in the tribe. Why? You couldn't. You're a deity. You're an all-powerful deity. You couldn't think of anything else. This is how you had to handle it. Yeah. I don't know. Not how I would have handled it, but no, I don't know. Is it how you would have handled it, James?
What happened? No. I think I could have come up with something better, especially if I would have been infinitely wise.
I know. I mean, once again, this should be able to survive the test of time. And yet, we're sitting here, 2 schmucks. I feel like we could have figured out something a little bit more simple than
just
this.
A little bit.
A little bit. I don't know. I think this has to be what he's into, because I can't really explain any other way. All right. Moses is killing everybody, ladies and gentlemen. This is the guy that I'm glad we got out of Egypt, because he is just doing so much good. Oh my. And they brought the captives to the good guys, and the prey and the spoil right onto Charlton Heston, who has had it up to here with not getting any more speaking roles. And Elzamarnanar, the priest, and onto the congregation of the children of the corn of Israel Shmishmael, onto the camps at the plain of Moab Lohab, which are by Jordan Peterson near that horror video game Jericho. And our main man, Charlton Heston, and Elzanar Dadar, the priest, and all the princesses of the congregation went forth to meet them with the camp. I'm sorry, what? They brought all the captives, prey, and spoil to Moses and Elzar. Oh, good. You brought the survivors to the raid leader, is what we can call them.
They were survivors. Let's see how they do, though.
Yeah, I would not count your quail yet. And Charlton Heston was wroth.
You didn't kill them all.
How dare you? I mean, now I just imagine Charlton Heston slowly becoming Frieza. Oh, my officers, how you let any of them go at all? Was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands. You know, the thousands that we've slaughtered. Nice PG Bible. And Captain Morgan's over hundreds, which came from battle. And Charlton Heston said unto them, Have ye saved all the women alive? Always a good sentence. And Moses was angry with the officers and said to them, have you saved all the women alive? Behold, we're opening in Vegas. These caused the children of the corn of Israel Shmishmael through the counsel of Balaam. Very evil.
Oh, Balaam. We haven't
Balaam.
heard from him in a little bit
I know.
since his famous ass.
Balaam's ass. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A chapter a little bit ago. To commit trespass, don't trespass on God, even though he's everywhere. So I'm not sure how that works. Against the Lord Bob in the matter of, you mean I gotta build this with nothing but peons? Work. Something doing? And there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord Bob. Oh, he's playing his greatest hits again. He's fantastic at plagues. He got a degree in it.
They're so much fun.
They're so much fun. These are the women that caused the Israelites through the counsel of Balaam to trespass against God in the matter of PR. And there was a plague in the congregation. I don't know about these women, but I would just say, run.
Very suspect.
Yeah, very sus. Now, therefore, go out and hug them. Go out and shop for some cheesecake. Now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones. Holy shit. And kill every woman that have no man by laying with him. Wow. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is not some atheist Bible. I know that there's a whole bunch of non-believer juice just flowing through, and yet this is the King James Bible, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bible that many people believe as the authoritative, inspired word of God. That anything else, in fact, it could be tainted, not the true version. I'm going to read this again.
Just for context, added context.
Context. And if you just joined us, Numbers chapter 31, we are going through the Midianite massacre, and boy, holly, do they deliver. Now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known man by lying with him. Once again, now go and kill all the young mans and every non-virgin woman. Really, I would like to know what the apologetic is for this. But they had it coming, I guess, against the Israelites.
Smokey said that, well, I mean, they were bad people and they had to get rid of them. And what are you going to do? Have a bunch of kids with nobody to take care of them? I mean, but the young girls, I mean, in an area where resources are scarce, you might want to just take the young girls because, hey, they're hard to come by.
We just got to kill them all because they're going to, I don't know, maybe grow up to want revenge because they tried to kill everyone. I mean...
And then Ken Hovind's apologetic is that that it was they must have had some type of sexually transmitted diseases, and of course the virgin girls would be the only ones who would be guaranteed not to have that because
they had
you can't
no
tell if a boy
what an STD is. Like, that is a funny apologetic.
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, where they also tried to kill everyone just so that they could make sure that the germs wouldn't spread. But that I mean, I'm sure there are people who believe that. Wesley, is this a countdown? Is the nuke? I am
Is
sending
the
love.
angel?
It's about they're coming down. But we are sending love, I will say, at the end of our chapter tonight, we will be going into an open mic. We are sending you love. We don't care if it's Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We just want everybody a good week and weekend. I will no spoilers. I just actually I saw that tonight. Fantastic movie. I would recommend it to everyone. But we are a spoiler free, except for when it comes to. I will say the Bible. I do have a cutoff. I feel like after 1,000 years, that is a cutoff for me. I will give the spoiler warning for it. Like spoilers, I do believe they tell us that God comes back apparently with therapy, and then he wants to kill his son, which I feel like if you want to kill your son, you kind of need more. I feel like the therapy hasn't even worked, or you need to go back and really work on whatever it took you to want to kill your son. But apparently that's a good idea. I'm not sure where the logic comes from, because it gets us off our bad deeds. It doesn't matter that I cheated on my wife.
We need a scapegoat, Amy.
I know, a scapegoat. All right, and see, it takes me. I rarely do I edit things because I am pro speech. But you're more than welcome to stay here, Wesley. Don't do that. I don't know why you'd want to spoil. But we're sending you love. And we're sending. And I'll tell you why. I think there is a reason that superhero movies are doing so well. And that is because we're becoming a more secular society. I think as we become a more secular society, I think we look for ways in which we can get mythic structure, which is really the structure. They call it mythic structure, but it's the story, in my opinion, of finding fire. It is the story of becoming an adult. It is the story of leaving the cave, even though it's scary and you have regrets. It is going out on adventures, often in a pair of three, to finally find out what it is that you're searching for, to come to a final battle, and to generally have either a false victory or a false defeat, to really go to the darkness of the metaphorical soul, the darkness in us, as we have both good and light, and to hopefully come out the other end gaining both the knowledge that we could not truly understand as a child, even while we lived in our home, and the knowledge that we had gaining and going on all these new adventures and being able to unite, because often the hero's journey ends coming back to where we started. And I think that is going to be with us forever, or as long as the humans are around forever. I hate to do always and forever, that kind of language. But I believe that it's still going to be strong and present far after we get rid of or lessen the effects of superstitious beliefs. That's why they're doing so well. And I think the ones that do it best, they transverse all of the emotions. They go, they're sad, they're happy, they have horror, they have moments of cheering, and they kind of climb the human gamut, and that's why they resonate. And so sending love to all the superhero movies. I
I
know
just
we're
have to be
saturated by them
contrarian.
right now because
Yeah, I have to be contrarian on that.
you're not a fan.
Not at all.
No, look, I
I
can
saw like the
understand.
first couple X-Men and they were all right. It's just after that, just the whole wave of them.
Have you seen the latest any of the latest Marvel ones though? Or have you
Not really. I saw one on TV. There's just so many of them. You can't
I
even
agree.
remember them
So
all.
the reason why I think it's stuck is because they really have gone to something more complete of a hero's journey. Especially, I think Marvel has done this. DC is doing a lot of great stuff. I mean, I think when James Gunn has proven that it's really about building the bigger picture, because I think James, speaking of James's, I think Gunn is able to, he's able to do both the humor, and you can see this when you think about Guardians of the Galaxy and when you think of the Suicide Squad. But the reason why they work is because they actually include the more touching moments. And I would recommend a lot of I know it sounds, I know Scorsese has called them roller coaster rides. I can understand that, but there is a reason why they're resonating, and I think there's a reason why they're resonating today, and they're going to continue to do so as we become more secular, because you're not going to find that in what they tell us is the good book. As we read, right here, you can find the morality of the good book. But we as humans will continue to seek out stories that touch us, and not just in the shake weight way. And we're sending love out there. I saw Wesley, I saw Doubting Thomas, Pancake of Destiny, Farron Salis, Iron Charioteer, Douglas. I see all of the awesome people out there. We're sending love,
misfits.
and that's right. And we're moving down. We're going to go through this and then move into the open mic. We've been having, I want to call it fun. We're having a good time, an entertaining time, but I would not want to be a Midianite right now. Let's just say that. But all the women children, wow, way to get really specific, like kind of creepily specific. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
That is super specific. But all the virgin females, keep alive for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen,
don't let them go to waste.
I am an egalitarian, whatever label you want to call yourself. But if you cannot see that is up, then I don't know what to say. I mean, the men were actually just treated specifically terribly, just a chapter up there, or just a few passages up there. So a shout out for the men that were treated. They're just like, oh, it has balls, let's slaughter them, up above. And now they're like, hey, it's a young child who didn't have sex with a man. Scoop.
Well, not for much longer.
Not for much. The biblical morality, James, biblical morality. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. I don't know what that accent there was. I don't know if it was Scottish. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Ye whatsoever have killed any person, and whosoever have touched any slain. It's like super icky if you touch a dead guy. Yeah, I would be more worried about the God commanding you to kill people, but purify both yourselves with Yahweh-based hand soap. Wipes Midianite blood right away. Better than Clorox. 7 days, whoever have killed a person and whoever touched any slain. So we got to purify yourselves and your
This is why
captives.
we get to remember I was telling you about the story of Hanukkah, Amy, the 7-day thing. This is why
We're so
they couldn't
lucky.
make the oil, why God had to jump in and suspend physics so that the temple could be lit so that they can worship him. He wasn't going to jump in and suspend physics for anything else, but they only had enough oil to worship him for one day. So
It is a rather boring miracle. Like, I know that to them, like, listen, I like guilt because I like chocolate. So I'm not gonna,
yeah,
and I'll celebrate any holiday that,
there's a
take a
meal.
Laka pancake that has a meal to it. Nonetheless, like, the God couldn't do better than that. How about he just like allows the people to break the laws? You were saying that is also
Like
only a miracle because they couldn't be dirty. They need to be purified, and thus
because in this thing, remember the 7, we just read about it. They had the 7 days after battle. So that's why they couldn't make more oil, because they were not clean for that time.
you gotta be clean, or else. Why were you gonna even make a sacrifice to God? Is it gonna have a blemish? Nobody wants that, James. No one wants that.
That would be like a guy coming into the temple with a deformed testicle. I mean, that
Oh,
would be
so random, so freaking random.
that would be an offense to God. That would be an abomination in the
It
sight
would
of
be,
God.
but not the good Abomination from the Marvel series, though he's an evil guy. But you know what I mean.
We know what you
Nonetheless,
mean.
Numbers chapter 31. If you just joined us, it's the Midianite Massacre, and it's not hyperbolic. It really is a good old-fashioned genocide. Okay, so, but ye do abide with the camp without the 7 days. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're purifying. The 7 days reminds me of the 7-day argument. Well, the 7 days, you're still obeying 7 days. So God. No, that makes perfect sense. And purify all your remnants. Make it all nice and smooth, baby. And all that is made of skins, and all work of goat's
Skins.
hair. That's right. And all things made of wood. And I feel like, man, after you've been talking, I'm sure it's all made of wood.
Wood
Skin
and goat's
spicy.
hair.
Wood and goat's hair. Look, James, you're in the desert. Gotta do what you gotta do. And Elzanar Namarnabar, the priest, because Aron Ra definitely died a long time ago. He got zapped. Said unto the men of war,
He fucked up.
the men of war of the God of love. That's what I like. Which went to battle. Well, that's what men of war tend to do. Thank you. It's the men of war, or the Wardenites. This is the ordinance of the law, which the Lord Bob has commanded Charlton Heston, though he should probably run because he's about to die. I like how he's commanding troops for a god that's about to kill him, or at
God
least
already
sends him to
told him.
death.
God's already told him, hey, look, I'm going to kill you before you guys make it, but keep being my bitch, keep doing my bidding. But
Exactly. But keep doing what I tell you. It'll be okay. You'll be fine. Ooh, at least we're getting a currency system. Only the gold, the silver, and that brass ass, the iron in the Rin Tin Tin, and I'm pretty sure we need to destroy the structure because it's made of lead. Everything that may abide by everything was good until the Fire Nation attacked. Ye shall make it go through the everything was good until the Fire Nation attacked, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, she persisted, it shall be purified. Oh, we got Britta. With the water of separation. That's right. I'm just going to make it nice and clear. Even though I'm pretty sure the water would run with red with blood, but whatever. And although that abideth not the everything was good until the Fire Nation attacked, ye shall make go through the water. Oh my. Splash Park.
Excuse me, that's water.
Oh, I'm gonna need a glass of water. And ye shall wash your clothes. Because that's very important after you kill people. Oh, good. I like how he's helping you cover up, as a god would. The god of
Yeah.
love. On the 7th day, because I kind of have a thing for 7th days. And ye shall be clean. And afterward ye shall come into the camp. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Just checking. Did you ask for permission? Oh my. And the Lord, Bob, spat all over onto Charlton Heston, who at this point was getting a little testy, saying, take the sum. No. Of the prey. Oh, we're going to have nice prey. That's how you know, once again, this is the good guy. That was taken both of man and beast. Oh boy. And thou Elzabar of Schmelzabar, the priest, and the chief fathers and grandfathers and great-great-great-great-grandfathers that are sometimes removed, but say something kind of awkward at Thanksgiving, and so you let it pass even though you don't really want to start a fight, and so you just pile on seconds of the congregation. What? But yes, and divide the prey into 2 parts between them that took the war upon them, who went out to battle, and between all the congregation. That's how you know it's the good guy.
the congregation
The
of
congregation.
Israel.
Shmishmael, of course. What is up, Kafifi? What is up, Pancake of Destiny?
Hey, we got Farron out there.
And Farron sent in love as we read Numbers chapter 31. It's a hell of a massacre.
The best massacre ever.
And okay, we just read, those of you who have killed these people or touched any of their dead bodies must stay outside the camp for 7 days to purify yourself, because that seems to be important to a deity who just killed everyone. After 7 days, you will be clean and can return to camp. Fantastic. Oh, and God said to Moses, take the prey, both human and animal. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
For a second, I was making a joke, and I was almost like, oh, well, prey just meant the animals, the game that they caught. But no. Don't confuse it.
Human.
Both man and beast. It's not just the annotations. It says it right there. Right there.
There we go again. Just taking the Bible literally, just reading what it says and thinking that's what it means.
I mean, it's just literal. I don't know. Maybe we're just reading it too literally. Maybe we need that context.
That's obviously what we're missing.
And Iron Charioteer says, A.B. James, did you know you guys are my ASMR? And I just have to say, that's wonderful. Woo-hoo! Sent in love so much, Iron.
Thank you, Iron.
And remember to keep on sending in those comments to tell us about all of those comments, thoughts, and one-liners that you have on
Give
all
us
the wisdom that we are
the appropriate
experiencing.
context.
That's right, the context. Iron also says, I believe in Santa when I get what I want. See, now I like the logic there. As long as you get everything you want, then it's true. I think that's how it works, right? That's how it works. But we are moving along in our Skeptic Bible Study, Numbers chapter 31. We are 3/4 of the way through Numbers, and wow, did this, I guess it lives up to the name. I should have just been happy in exposition mode when we were just counting the number of
Doing another
Israelites.
census.
Though I did have a feeling. I had a feeling even in that chapter. I'm like, you don't count this amount of people unless you're going to war. I knew that this was because why else are you just counting? Does God just want to know why all the there was this 1,000 and then there was 10,000 and then there was 400 here?
I mean,
and then it's like,
even though it's actually completely irrelevant because it doesn't matter how many people they have God on their side. So
exactly,
they could have 10. They can have 10 people and they can slaughter a nation of 20,000. And
wouldn't that be way? First, I don't know if that'd be way more believable or that would be just more entertaining if it would be like, and then the Israelites came out, the Israelites came out against the Midianites, and the Midianites just kicked their ass. And the Israelites just had to, they had to go with their tail behind their knees. And, God was just, he was watching the foosball game of the time, and so he just wasn't paying attention. And so, this is why you got to coordinate people. You got to speak with your God, apparently, bush to bush. Got to light that bush to talk with them, apparently. But yes.
Oh, Amy's all about that bush.
Oh, baby. Am I ever. But we are moving along, and then after a quick massacre, and then, as you do, you genocide. I think everyone genocides a population when they're younger. Don't you, James? Don't you remember when, you're growing up and just you're like, what, Mom, Dad?
All the other gods are doing it.
All the other gods are doing it, and I genocided an entire group of people. And they're like, James, I guess, it's puberty. Every once in a while, some of us get acne, some of us slaughter an entire group of people.
But only the ones who deserve it, right?
But only the ones that deserve it. That's right. He's sorting them out somewhere, I imagine. They haven't really gone into those logistics yet. But yes, back to the if this was a real-time strategy game, this dude, they'd be, I don't know if it's cheating, but they would definitely, it would be a slaughter. It would be over fairly quickly, and I don't know how this is the good guy.
He's not.
He's not. They tell us, all loving. The all loving's coming. But yes, we're dividing men and women. Or we're divided. Keep on. The men and women have already been separated. We divided men and beast into spoils because the women have already been taken along. If you even want to call them that, and I'm being generous, Bible. And divide the prey into two parts between them that took the war upon them, who went out to battle, and between all the congregation, which is just a faceless group that we never meet. And
they didn't exist.
Exactly. Well, and the silver lining of all of this, and I know after we say this is where the theist goes, well, why do you care then? Is that this did not happen. None of this happened. This is not a historical event.
This is not.
Many, many, many wars happened, and there'll probably be wars in the future. Right? Probably. There will be wars in the future, and there have been wars many in the past. That does not mean this won't happen.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the other smoky apologetic was for this is that this is war poetry. It doesn't necessarily mean they exterminated them all. It's war poetry. So it's like propaganda. They're like, oh, yeah, we killed every last one of them. We slaughtered them. But then, you still found traces of the people like later on. So they really didn't slaughter all of them. Some of them must have escaped.
First of all, that is like saying we genocided almost all of a population, but they just so sneaky. A few of them got away.
We didn't kill genocide them all. It wasn't a complete genocide.
I almost thought you were just going to say it's completely metaphorical. But if it's completely metaphorical and it's just poetry, then I don't know how we would separate the literal from the metaphorical. And if it's just they killed everyone so they could, rouse up all of the people, I don't know, get a better way to rouse up all the people than slaughtering entire populations. That's just, us though. Who are we to challenge the Almighty?
It's assholes, schmucks.
That's right.
Schmucks on YouTube.
Just two schmucks who can only do 3D chess. We can't do the.
We are limited 4D. In that regard.
Exactly. And we're gonna levy to the heavy to the something was dry. We're gonna go to and levy a tribute onto the Lord Bob of the men of war who went out to battle, because that's what the men of war do. I mean, you're not going to turn on the movie 300 and it's going to be like 300 men knitting together. Man, I got a fantastic pattern going up the right side already. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I would watch it. I don't know if anyone else would.
J.J. Abrams takes over the 300
what a
franchise.
Twist. One soul. What are we doing? Soul magic now? One soul of 500, both of the persons and of the beeves. What? And of the asses. I just want you to know that when you start a sentence out with the beeves and the asses, I mean, it just sounds like you're starting a Grindr account.
It's a way to get Amy's attention.
Look, if you didn't have sheep in the sentence, it would say, and levy a tribute onto the Lord of Men of War, which went out to battle. One soul of 500, both of the persons and of the beeves and of the asses. I mean, I feel like he's about to throw a party. I mean, whatever you're into, I'm not going to kink shame. Let's just get some good times are rolling. But the sheep does concern me then once we get there. So I will say, I mean, whatever you're into, but I don't know if they can consent. Take it of their half. Take it. Just take it, baby. Of their half. And give it on to Elzar, the priest class, hopefully level 60, and can bubble properly for an naive offering.
That's your favorite offering. The breast offering.
I will say, yeah, that is also another good offering. Sometimes you just need to have a good breast offering. Sometimes.
It's been a while since we had a good heave offering.
I know. But you do need to keep on giving offerings to the Lord Bob, because what would he be unless you were killing things for him? And oh boy,
he wouldn't be a god.
I know. He wouldn't really be a god. And the children of the corn of Israel Shmishmael's half, thou shalt take portion of 50 of the person's beeve of the ass, and I think that's about it. Okay, fine. And of the flock and of all manner of beasts, and give them onto Big Levi's jeans. It'll be funny. We'll do like a little YouTube video with sound effects, which keep
the best sound effects.
The best sound effects. Yeah. Oh my God! Is that sheep wearing jeans and sunglasses? So cool. Which keep charge of the tabernacle. Oh, we haven't been hanging out in our portable, fabulous, holy tent that we built many a book ago. Of the Lord Bob. And Charlton Heston, who once again would just like to get a role that gets him back onto the silver screen again. And Elzabar Nanarnanar, the priest class, who, all right, the heels are pretty decent. Now, if we could just get the DPS up, did as the Lord Bob commanded Charlton Heston. And James, have I ever told you?
What's
and
that?
the booty.
Yeah, Saxon asses, like the story of Joseph.
Okay.
You remember that story of Joseph?
Oh, look, it was basically a Mari episode over a rainbow coat. Like they jacked that dude up, and then they'll be like, but he became Father Pharaoh of Egypt, and the other guy died. Well, it was all worth it then. Totally worth it, even though his family sold him into slavery. It works out, ladies and gentlemen. The ends justify
But
the means.
you got to look at the 5D chess, Amy. You see, God wanted, he had to be the bat. He needed glory. So he needed to rescue his people. So he had to get them into trouble, become slaves, so that then he could rescue them. So he came up with this idea of, oh, I will send this famine and they'll have to go to Egypt to be enslaved because there won't be any food anywhere else. And I'm going to get them there. I'm going to have Joseph's brothers. They'll sell him into slavery. And then he'll be a slave there, and then he'll end up getting thrown into prison there. But I'll give the Pharaoh some kind of crazy dream, and the Pharaoh's baker will die. And then Joseph will interpret the dream, and then he'll become like the vice Pharaoh. And then he will get my people into Egypt so that later on, everybody will forget who they are and they'll just enslave them. Don't you understand this perfect plan, Amy? This perfect plan.
I don't understand how you could subvent or create anything more perfect.
It flows. It makes so much sense. It's good and wholesome and holy.
Exactly.
Clearly, very, very holy.
Very holy, as in filled with lots of holes. But yes, apparently it's all about that booty, because it wasn't enough that we had to kill everybody. Now we got their shit. And the booty being the rest of the prey which the men of war had caught. Because that's what you do when you kill everyone. Was 600,000 and
yes.
70,000 and 5,000 sheep. Wow, thank you.
Did we get a count of the sheep?
I know. Well, why? I like how, and I bet they use this as evidence that it's real, but they were counting the sheep. Why would they count the sheep?
Exactly 5,000 sheep.
And 12,000 beeves. So it says right there. All right, you gotta count your beeves. And 1,000 asses. It's a lot of beeves and asses, but whatever you're into. And 32,000 persons in all of women that had not known by men by lying with him. Now let's just take for a second, because I often make the joke that women sometimes get put in the same category as livestock when it comes to the Bible. And I'm sure there are Christians, creationists, many people out there that go, Amy, maybe you should just tie that fedora on tighter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what this is then. Because
nail that fedora to your head.
I feel like I have to, because I don't know what else to say. The total amount of booty, things that they won after they killed everyone, the thing that raiders and pirates do, was 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cows, 61,000 asses and 32,000 virgin females. I'm sorry. I just
That's a
really
lot of
need to
virgin
put the
females.
emphasis. Do you know how many people, like, how much livestock and how many humans this is? Like,
That's an unbelievable amount.
It is unbelievable, and it is unbelievably immoral. Can you imagine taking 32,000 virgins for your booty? And
These are young girls that are going to be under the age of 15, 16, because they typically would have been married by then.
And you hear mostly from Christians, I'm sure sometimes from Jews and other religions, who criticize the Muslims, and they're like, well, Muhammad took Aisha at blah, 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 blah. And look, I ain't defending that because I think that's a little suspect, and I think there's a lot of questionable things in a lot of different religious marriages, and any marriage that you don't really what is the word? Well, consent, but then the arranged marriages, I don't like any of those type of things. Nonetheless, you can't shit on them with a book like this, okay? You can't.
There's enough immorality to go around.
Exactly. You can't criticize and say, oh, well, Muslims throw gays off of buildings if your book says to stone them to death. Because really, at that point, you're just saying, wow, look how nice I am. I'm not following my book.
We don't follow our book. Yeah. We ignore that part now.
Fantastic. We're actually happy. Like, I actually would rather you be a hypocrite in that situation, because for you to not be a hypocrite means you're going to stab some people or shoot somebody or burn somebody. I don't know what, but I'd rather you ignore those passages. In fact, I'm pretty sure most of the Christians and Jews and anyone who would like to attach themselves to this passage and chapter ignore the whole chapter, because it's like a whole chapter that just needs apologetics. I don't know any wisdom that comes from this, except for, I don't know, go out and raid and pillage and steal and, my lordy, kill. I'm waiting for it, but if we did learn one lesson, it does seem to love some booty. My lord, biblical morality.
Doesn't everybody?
I know. What can I say? And the half and half, which really makes the coffee worth it. Love it. Which was the portion of them that went out to war. That escalated quickly. I hate it when my coffee goes to war. Was in the number of 300,000, 7 and 30,000 and 500, and we'll go with 67 sheep, definitely. And the Lord Bob's tribute was, I guess we'll go half and half. We'll split the check. Of the sheep was 603 score and 15. And the beeves, gotta love the beeves, were 30 and 6,000, of which the Lord Bob's tribute was 60 and 12. Thanks. And the asses, they were lift high in the air, were 30,500, of which the Lord Bob's tribute was 60 and only 1. And 1.
60 and 1. Okay.
60 and 1. What was that wisdom? Just look, we got soldiers half was 337,000 sheep, another 36,000 sheep, 30,000.
That's it for soldier of science.
And 16,000 virgin females. Oh my lord, that's a lot of booty. Whew.
We'll put you in charge of that, Newman.
That's right. Oh, if you're gonna make me dredge through that, I guess I'll have to. And
no choice.
The HR department was filled were 16,000. Of the Lord's tribute was 30, and two persons. Good. Oh, good. And Moses gave the tribute. He just burned it right up to the Lord, which was the Lord's heave offering onto Elzamarnabar, the priest class to look, she has a decent rate of bubbling me when needed, as the Lord commanded Moses, mostly to his death, which is coming. And the children of Israel, shmishmael of corn.
She said it's coming.
Oh, baby, is it half, which Moses divided from the men that warred. Oh, good. Now we literally just killed everyone, and we are just separating the spoils.
War poetry, Amy. War poetry.
War poetry. I know, exactly.
It's hyperbolic. It's not.
Hyperbolic.
You can't take it serious.
Exactly. Like, even if you cut these numbers in half, they're like you. I'm trying to think of a way to morph this story. Like, unless these were orcs, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how this could be the good guys. It's just a god who told his chosen group of people to go kill another group of people. Fantastic. And you wonder why religion has so much problems with other religions. Well, maybe because they're all a little bit tribal.
That's the whole root. That's the whole point to it, really, right?
I guess so. Look, we got ours, and screw you. And Moses gave the tribute, which was the we're heave offering. Okay. And the children, we got our half and half. We were here. Gotcha. 43. In fact, if you just join us.
I can't see on my screen. It's so small.
Oh, really? You want me to make it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you know what?
There you go.
Here we go. And all right, number 43. And I will say, we're actually coming up soon on the end of the chapter. We will be heading into like 30, 45 minutes of open mic if we get people. And if not, we'll be heading on right over to the after party in Discord, the link of which can be found below. So come join us for some more fun. But we are going to finish up our chapter of the night in our Skeptics Annotated Bible and our Skeptic Bible Study of Numbers chapter 31, the Massacre of the Midianites. Whew. But really, it's really just a hug massacre. Like, he just hugged everyone with kindness, or killed everyone with kindness. Thank you. There we go. Now that half pertained unto the congregation was 300,000 and 30,000 and 700 and 500 sheep. I like how we have to have this, because if it wasn't written...
So important.
We can't edit this, because if we edit this, then, we would be editing the inspired word of God.
And you don't want to edit that, trust me.
And all right. And 30 and 6,000 beeves. I just love saying. And 30,000 asses. And 500. I know. They had to choose that word. And 16,000 persons. Sup, Bull Run and Norfolk. What is up? Saying hello and kill doggy. We are sending love to all of you out there on the internet-sphere as we move along in our Skeptic Bible Study on the internet. In fact,
things.
The Internet of Things. Oh, yeah. Hey, the Internet of Things is only going to grow. So scary. Speaking of which, Alexa, can you get me a pizza? But they'll keep on using the technology that they think is of the devil. Everything's of the devil when it first comes out. Rock and roll, of the devil. The internet, of the devil. I'm sure they dislike drones until they buy, their nephew, niece, or children, like one of the flying drones that you can handle yourselves for Christmas. It's like,
Work of the devil.
Work of the devil. But I will say, let me send this in just in case so we can make sure we get in anyone who wants to join us. I'm going to be sending the link into chat. That way, if anyone wants to join us, we will be switching into an open mic portion of the show soon. But once again, we're going back in. I do want to finish up because
that's where we worship the devil.
That's right. Sometimes you just need to worship the devil. She's such a cutie. I always love that notion. It's very conflicting because I find it hard not to find where either the devil is the good guy and he's working with us, or he is God's lackey, in which he's just torturing people, and really it goes back up to God. So I don't know which one of those that it is, but I would love for a
either way, he's not the bad guy.
Yeah. Hey, Satan has a lower kill count than Yahweh. I just want to put that out there. And all right, Numbers chapter 31. We are almost done the chapter, and we're almost done Numbers.
Everybody's almost dead.
Yeah, we just killed everyone. So not exactly appropriate TV that you'd put on in the kindercare, but apparently this is the most moral
guy
in
virgins,
the universe.
They won't be virgins for much longer.
I know. Yeah, it's wonderful. You kill everyone and just keep the virgins and the spoils, which, I mean, just take everything. You killed everyone. Why not take everything? But yes, even
if thou insist.
Well, if no one's going to take this and 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 this, I guess I'll have to. If you, like you said, if you insist.
If you insist.
Even of the children of the corn of Israel, Shmishmael's half and half. Charlton Heston took one portion of 50, and he's like, I just like my coffee really. Yeah, look, I like a lot of cream. I like a lot of sugar. I am still a manly man, God damn it. Both of man and of beast. Oh, we know. You made it clear. You're not even separating out other animals. You're like, no. Take the men, take the beast, take these little virgins over here. We killed everybody. This is for us. Oh, definitely moral. And gave them onto the Levi Jeansites, who were on sale that weekend for $9.99. Which kept the charge of the tabernacle. Oh, that's good. At least we have someone running the tent of the Lord Bob, as Lord Bob commanded Charlton Heston, who is not as good a director as you would think. And the officers, which were over thousands of the host, the captains of thousands, and the captains of hundreds. I get it. You got a lot of units. You mass-produce units, and now you're just going to rush them. I get it.
So many units.
So you did rush them. They came all over, and also near onto Charlton Heston. He was like, blah, 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 blah.
All those captains, Amy.
All those captains. Woo! So his fever dream and my utopia, ladies and gentlemen. What can I tell you? And they said unto Charlton Heston, thy servants have taken the sum of men of war, of which our charge, and there lacketh not one man of us was not spent that night, is what he's trying to say.
Not a drop left, Newman.
Look, sometimes you gotta just get on your knees and work your way through all of the beeves, booties, and asses. Okay, sometimes,
Peeves.
James. Uh,
All those peeves.
all those peeves. But yes, I can see the line, so I am sending it up on screen. If you would like to join us in a second, we're moving. I think this is the end game. But yeah, as we finish Numbers chapter 31, the Midianite Massacre, and oh boy, gee willigers, did the Bible really fulfill tonight's chapter name.
It delivered.
Wasn't beating around the bush, wasn't really a slaughter of hugs, as much as we would like it to be. But yes, we killed everyone.
God did
so why
not disappoint.
Shit? Yeah, does not disappoint. We have therefore brought an oblation
An oblation.
for the Lord Bob, for what every man hath gotten of jewel. Oh, we're going shopping. That's nice. Of jewels, of gold, and chains, and bracelets, and okay, if you
I made an oblation.
on my finger. Oh, I bet it was those
I
nice.
made an oblation.
Now, did you know? You know, you could pick me up some earrings, and if they have the new bronze tablet, which was kind of the thing of the day, could you pick it up to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord Bob? Oh, is that what you? Oh, is that what you were doing with all that shit? Really? You needed jewels of gold specifically, and chains and bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets.
An atonement.
Oh, yes. Just like you needed the little girl and to slaughter the dad. Definitely makes sense. No. Whew.
He won't be complaining now.
Won't be complaining now.
Oh, my little girl, my little girl. Yeah. What about your little girl?
You know where the complaint department is.
Yeah.
And Charlton Heston and Elza Marninar, the priest who once again putting a lot of dot heals on people, but hopefully his flash heals will actually get to you in time, took the gold of them, even all the wrought jewels. Oh, did
even
he?
All the wrought. Even
all. And all of the gold of the offering. I love how it's just going through now all the shit that they just took. That's fantastic. And they offered it up to the Lord Bob. Lord Bob, look at all of the crap that we have now taken from all of the dead people and apparently the family of the virgins. Be cool if you can have it, take it. It's an offering. Oh my.
kind of like for the glory of God, I guess.
That's right, for his glory. Somewhere.
Oh.
That would have been a much better chapter, I do believe. I do declare, even. But yes, we're offering gold up to a god for some reason. Of the captains of the thousands and of the captains of the hundreds was 16,750 shekels.
Oh, there we go. Newman's all about her shekels.
Yes, see. Now I know that it was worth it because we got a whole bunch of shekels. I like how they're not even coy about it. Like we killed all the men. We took all the virgin
shekels.
girls. We took all the cows and the booties and the asses. We took all their money. I mean, isn't this what a raider does? Isn't this what pirates do? What conquerors do? I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that all-loving. Just
you don't feel the love?
Yeah, I'm not feeling the charity pour from the heavens. Let's just say that much. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're just not reading it right, James. Maybe we have to read it upside down. I don't know.
We are very biased.
Very biased. It's true.
We
But
are
hey,
very biased.
maybe it's because we are just reading a very mainstream Bible that many, if not, I want to say a
The
third
majority.
to a half, if not the majority. Yeah, a giant majority of. But James, picky. Okay? You silly atheists are just reading it literally. You can't read it literally. You need the context.
The full context.
Full context so that you can listen to this con man. Woo.
Give him your money.
Give him your money. That's right. Give him all of your shekels, apparently. For the men of war had taken spoil. No, that much was apparent. Every man for himself, which is another sentence that you say right before you know it's an all-loving God. He's an all-loving God. Every man for himself. It's exactly how that goes, I think. And Charlton Heston and Elzamar Namar, the priest, who once again, he gets us through boss battles. I wish he would just be, look, pay attention to your flat. You can't just throw dot heals up on me and just pretend like that's going to be enough. You got to sit there and wait, or you're just going to get me flamed to death. What are we talking about? The priest took the gold of the captains of thousands and of hundreds and brought it into our fabulous holy tabernacle of the congregation.
Are you a captain of hundreds or thousands, Amy?
James, I want to think I'm a captain of thousands, but I think after a few shots, I'm really just, a Captain Morgan of hundreds. But that's okay. I'll chill in the tabernacle.
Introspective about it.
Exactly. For a memorial.
A trainee has to know their limitations.
I once again, the Tyrannosaurus Rexes eventually, I think we get hit with a comet. Or no. This is our time, baby. Our time, our prime. We're here. One of us tonight is queer. But once again, if you disagree on anything we've been talking about, we are about to go into the open mic portion of the Bible study. Cake says, that's right. I like to think I have a superpower, and that is that it does not matter what room I walk into. I like to think I make everyone just a little bit, just a tiny bit more bisexual. Which way, you ask? I don't know. I can't figure that out. I don't even know which way anymore. But, comes back to my super sexuality. Bring in the super straight mimes.
So many of them.
So many of them, I know. No. We're sending love to flirfs, turfs. It doesn't matter who you are. We're sending love to everybody out there because we do love our atheists and our theist brothers and sisters, no matter if you disagree with us. I wish we could get God to come down here and talk with us, but Donald did enough podcasts for all of us, and it turns out no. The answer is no, he is not coming down here, but he's always invited. Come on down. The water's fine. But yes, the last... a memorial of the children of the corn of Israel, Shmishmael, before the Lord Bob. So Moses and Elzar brought the... And if there could be a message of the day, it probably is fucked up. But, well... The Twitter sphere may blow up. I have never seen. I was saying that there's such a weird platform of all the platforms to get Twitter. I can say that on here, or I can say that on many. but they can always come on to argue or flirfs. I would say flirfs, but nobody wants to actually defend their position. We give them too much time, I think, and so they run away. Come on, Christian creationists.
They run
Don't
away.
you want to come on? Pancake of Destiny says, hero with this superpower will not be used for Marvel, to be sure, but it could be used for... no, never mind. That's right, baby. And all right, we just read Moses and Eleazar brought the gold to the tabernacle as a memorial for the Israelites. So yeah, let's remember the fantastic times when we slaughtered everyone. Hey, everybody, remember when we committed a genocide? It was like totally cool. We have photos. Oh my God. Oh my God, Jane, you were like, remember with the thing, and then you were stabbing, and he was like,
all those,
like,
all their heads.
Yeah, exactly. All the
you had all those heads. You were playing soccer with their heads, and
such a great time, James. You got to remember the little things in life.
Cutting off their schmizzles and collecting those.
For God, but for God specifically. And all right, that brings us to our conclusion of tonight's chapter of Numbers, chapter 31 of our Skeptic Bible Study, where we have been reading the Midianite Massacre. Oh my, which, as we've been saying, it kind of held to its name.
It did not disappoint.
Did not disappoint. And like Shane the Skeptic was saying, this is one of the passages I think may not be remembered by Christians, but I think atheists remember this passage because this chapter is just so freaking brutal. Like, there is no reason it had to happen at all or like this. Like, holy moly. I don't know.
Holy shnikes, Batman.
Holy shnikes, Batman. But, I mean, if you disagree with us, now is the time to come on. Because if we don't get anybody in a little while,
whip it out.
We're going to go to our after party over at the Discord. So
where Amy will be whipping it out.
Oh boy.
Not in that context.
Not in that context. But I have been having fun, I will say. You know, we often get the question, it was making me think about this just as we were wrapping up. Why do we even do stuff like this? Why do we do Bible studies? Why do we
painstaking
read exactly to the detail? Why are we looking at holy books at all? And the answer is because many people believe in this, and so it is impactful. They believe this in a way that affects society, which oftentimes, especially in the United States, they will push legislatively. But it happens, it doesn't really matter where you are. Globally, it just affects us as a level of superstition, because the moment that you accept one thing knowingly, because I'm sure we all
probably do
something stupid or something unfounded. Maybe stupid is not the right word, but unfounded on evidence,
unsubstantiated.
Now, I will say, if we knew what it was, then I hope that James and I, as skeptics, would get rid of it. I mean, it's easy, but nonetheless, we all have it. And so
we all have certain things that we think that there might not be great evidence for, but we kind of lean in a direction. But it doesn't mean if you saw evidence that went against that you wouldn't be willing to consider it and change your view. And,
Absolutely. And so once again, the number is on the screen. Please help us change our view about this chapter. We love giving theists,
The war
creationists,
poetry.
even Jews and Christians priority. I know. Tell us why this was war poetry, because
tell us
from our perspective, it's freaking evil.
Tell us about the poetry.
I can't even understand that apologetic.
Tell us about the poetry, Smokey. Oh wait, he can't because he's busy tending to his army of his all his new subscribers. Thank you, YouTube. We love you guys.
Well, I will say, I do miss the dislike button. Nonetheless, I am sending love to all of our fans on YouTube, and I still heart the chance to even get a community out here, because it has been a great experience. And so,
absolutely.
In fact, speaking of that, and I think I'm going to post in the community tab. What is up, Gizmo? This is always a cat, dog. Doesn't matter what kind of fur baby you have, or even if they have scales, including my family. Feel free.
Of course,
to,
Amy did the 23andMe and came up part lizard. Go figure.
Lizard. I know.
Yeah.
Look, I knew the first time that I was able to regrow my tail back, and that when I went into the sun, that I was able to regenerate heat. It was just fantastic. And that, after a while, I had to go back to the sun, of course. But the space lasers also help that. So I just like to think we're all doing our part for the New World Order.
But when your mom came in with those baby skulls and put them in the juicer to give you the blood to drink so you can maintain your human form. Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is just what we do as Ashkenazis, right?
Exactly. And I'll say we're in an interesting, position. I will say I love my Jewish family. I love even matzah, and I love Hebrew National hot dogs. Nonetheless,
you love steamrolling over Nazis and
love steamroll. Exactly. I would say making people who have beliefs that are a little questionable, no matter what those unquestionable beliefs are, hopefully. But this guy just seems like a dick. I just don't like Yahweh. I'm not a fan. I know they tell me it gets better in part 2. It gets better in the sequel. And yet, not a fan right now.
It's more than that. It's not just it gets better, but does he actually exist?
Well, that too.
Because if he doesn't exist, it doesn't matter if he gets better or not. That's just apologetics at that point. That's just them saying, well, wait, look at this God. He looks like kind of an asshole. We've got to kind of fix his image up a little bit. We've got to make him more palatable to
Clean
people.
It up. Yeah, and the funny thing is that it's a double-edged sword, because it's like a nicer, shinier coat of paint, but then when you go through the door, to me, a lot of things are just as worse, if not more. Like hell. I really dislike the concept of hell. I don't think people understand, and we're not made. Humans, in fairness, are not made to conceptualize things like infinity and forever. So it's not completely their fault that they just go, how long is torturing someone forever? And probably like a week or a month, or like a few thousand years, or maybe even a bit. I don't think they really can conceptualize 1,000,000 years, 1,000,000,000 years, a Google ton of years,
a quadrillion years.
I really don't think they can fathom that at all, or else they would see how evil that really becomes.
Well, I mean, the problem is when you have such low evidence for your claim, you've got to make the penalty for being wrong so bad that it will scare people so much
Sure.
that
That's what they
even
say.
if the evidence is not that good, like, well, do I want to risk it? Do I want to risk being wrong? Even if there's a 1 out of a trillion chance it's right, maybe I should just keep on believing. Maybe.
Maybe, but doesn't seem that very rational to me.
It's not. It's the antithesis of rationality, but it works. It does keep people
In line.
in line. Yeah. It works. I think
And
hell is probably like probably the single best thing that keeps people in the faith. I think at the end of the day, a lot of them people are just scared of going to hell.
I agree. I think arguments like the moral argument, the problem of evil, they're not very strong for atheists. They're not very persuasive. And yet when you look at the theistic, creationist, afterlife community, it is one of, like you were saying, it's a major reason why I think people stay in, because that to stop believing, you lose a lot, I imagine, from their perspective. Not only
Yeah.
are the bad people not going to hell, not only am I not going to have my afterlife super party forever, but now everyone that that I loved who has died, I now need to kind of have a second funeral, understanding that I will never see them again.
That they're actually gone, and that is. I think that there's a sizable amount of them out there who know that they deep down they know it's not real, but they cling on to it because of things like that, because they get to tell themselves that they're not really gone, that they'll be reunited with them, even though there's no real objective reason to think that's going to happen, but it sounds really good.
And there's a lot of people that just may be in the why not category, which I know sounds probably not like the most logical, consistent position to hold. And
Right.
yet it is almost like not a lazy Pascal's wager, but it is. In almost kind of a way of, what do I have to lose? And then I would respond to that in a lot, is because now you are just accepting something without evidence. And maybe it's just that one thing, but my bet would be it's not, and that that would leak out.
Like you said, once you go down that path of accepting things without evidence, it's a bad path to go down.
I agree. It is a bad path to go down. And I will say we got about 10 or 15 more minutes. I think we're going to wrap it up soon. This is your chance now. If you disagree, if you agree with us, either way, now is your chance to come on to our open mic. Not on my sheets, please. Have to clean those, God, every other day. It's just But I love you guys, and that is why we do it here. We are having so much fun on our Skeptic Bible Study, the Midianite Massacre, and I'm glad.
It was a real massacre.
It was a real massacre. A horrible chapter, and yet glad we went through it, because it's stuff like this that gets isolated, frozen in my brain, because it's just so horrible. I know there are apologetics for literally every passage in the Bible. Though I said this
They've had a long time.
I know. They've had thousands of years almost, right? But
to sit there and rationalize and come up with explanations.
Some apologetics are way better than the others, and or not. I don't know if I should say way better. You can see that some of the the fringier stuff. Like, I'm trying to remember. Like, there is someone trying to defend the quail thing. I was like, there's an apologetic for the quail thing. That seems pretty goddamn clear cut. But
Well, and like I was saying before, like why the issue of like morality, why I don't think that really offends a lot of people, why a lot of believers that isn't really a big thing for them is at the end of the day, they don't really care whether they can rationalize it morally. It's kind of the mafia boss, might makes right. He can still send you to hell. So whether you can work it all out or whatever is irrelevant. He makes the rules. He's in charge. So if he says it's moral, immoral. There you go.
Exactly. I had someone tell me, I don't know if I think it was on the Thought Adventure podcast when I was in their lovely side chat. I was talking with someone who said they had solved the problem with divine command theory, because if you accept divine command theory, then everything God says is good. It's like,
right.
No, that is divine command theory. You're repeating it.
That is divine command theory.
But
it doesn't tell you why. It's that's purely a might makes right argument that, well, he's God.
Exactly.
He said it. He can still kill you. There you go.
You're lucky he hasn't already, basically.
Oh, you should like, what is it? The famous sermon from, I think it was a preacher named Jonathan Edwards in the 1700s. You should read it sometimes. It's called Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. And basically it's like he's like telling his congregation, like, you guys are all dangling over hell right now, and it's just God holding you up, and you know, you better be thankful he's not dropping you in right where you deserve right now. Yeah.
That's right. Once again, just be thankful for the asshole God.
Because, hey, he could drop you into hell right now. He's not. Therefore, be thankful for that. Don't say what kind of sick asshole would even come up with something like hell. The whole concept is abhorrent to anybody with a shred of humanity. Don't say that.
Yeah, no, I think the concept's evil. I really try to convey that to Christians and Muslims who believe in hell, and I guess Zoentarianists who they stole it from, borrowed lightly inspiration. Yeah, inspiration from God, more like inspiration from the guy next to me. But it really is an abhorrent idea once you get into logistics. It's just rewarding someone infinitely for being subservient and torturing someone infinitely for disobeying.
And like we said before, part of these type of arguments is being an adult about things and realizing that, but wait a minute. So there are people who do bad things in this world and they don't get caught and then they die. You mean to tell me nothing happens to them after they die? They just get to die and they would have never been punished for all the bad things that they did? Well, yeah, that's reality. I'm sorry. You don't have to like it. You might wish there was some type of cosmic judge out there who makes sure everybody gets what they deserve, but there's just no evidence of that. And we know that it's terrible that good things happen to bad people in this life and bad things happen to good people. And you might like to think, it might help you to think that don't worry about it. After they die, everybody gets exactly what they've got coming to them. The good people will get rewarded so much more in the afterlife that whatever they suffered in this life will be nothing compared to what they get. And the bad people, they may have enjoyed things in this life, but they're going to have to deal with God after they die, and he is not going to be happy. He's going to be pissed off. So they'll get what they've got coming to them. And I'm sorry, that's just not reality. No matter how nice it sounds, or it may sound, because I don't think, yeah.
They like to think, once again, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if that, if bad people, because who is to judge? I guess they'd say the God.
Right.
Bad people get finally judged for all the bad things that they would do. And that is such obviously mythology and obviously a fairy tale. I know they'll find that as insulting. Look, I understand I am calling your most deeply held religion what you call other religions.
A fairy tale.
A fairy tale. And yet it has all the markings and the trimmings of a fairy tale. And if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, well, good, because it's not quail.
Be thankful that it's not quail, because that would be bad. That would be bad. Imagine this. I mean, it's the quail story. That it goes to show like the purpose of the Old Testament. I've said it before. The purpose of this is that the stories were written by people who were desperately afraid of their culture being eroded through interbreeding, intermixing, mingling with other people. They wanted to maintain their identity, their culture, their history. They wanted to maintain homogenous. They made up all these rules and restrictions that would keep them separate from their other people. And they also made in things that, like, you can't question these rules. You can't question God, or bad things are going to happen. Like, look at these people. They question God, and God gave them exactly what they wanted. He gave them quail, Amy. He gave them fucking quail. They were hungry. Wow. They were hungry, and God gave them quail. Don't complain. Don't question God.
And once again, if you don't know what we're talking about, if you just think we're tying our fedora on too tight, there was a passage in the Bible in which the Israelites were hungry, had no food.
They had no food. Go figure. How dare they be hungry?
How dare they? And they went to God and said, please, we are starving. Can you give us food? And God was like, oh, sure. Oh, I would love to give you food. Please sit down.
You guys are hungry. You guys are hungry. Okay. All right. God's kitchen is open.
And so they sat down, and they were about to were they about to bite? I mean, trying to think, bite into it.
As soon as they bit into it, he basically
bit into it,
made them explode with it. Like, they detonated, I believe, was what happened to them from the quail.
And so you can see all of the love, all of the justice, as members of God's chosen people just die because, well, they were hungry and they asked the one person they trusted for food. Thanks, God.
I mean, go figure. I mean, hey, God, he did get them out of Egypt, and which is what they said. Like, God, you got us out of Egypt. You brought us out in the desert to worship you. You forgot to feed us. You know, I got you out of Egypt. Now I got to feed you. I mean,
you humans eat food? That is lame.
Who came up with something like that? Who would come up with this thing where you guys have to go around cramming stuff into your mouth all the time so you don't die?
Oh my.
Who would come up with something crazy like that, Amy? Well,
I mean, if I was a god, I would just come up with cramming stuff in your mouth, but it really wouldn't.
It wouldn't necessarily be food.
And that's funny. At the last minute, I thought I saw Jamie Russell jump behind stage,
No.
Jamie, if you come on for like a minute, I can get you on if you want to have something to say. If not, I'm gonna wait another 60 seconds and we are going into our outros
If
so
you
that
want
we can
to
go to the
quail.
after show. That's right. But hey, like I said, we actively want to hear the I hate to say the opposition viewpoint, but in the intellectual atheist versus theist sphere, we want to hear the other side. And so come one, come all, if you've been a good boy, oh my. On
Can
to
I?
the
Do I
stream.
have permission?
Oh my, yes.
Oh.
If you want to come on and talk to us about the Midianite Massacre, as we have been reading Numbers, come on and explain our chapter 31, why it's not as evil as us atheists think it is.
Tell us about the war poetry.
And I do want to send in love to Pancake of Destiny. Said I create a Twitch account just to follow you. Keep up the good work, Captain Amy and Sergeant James. Thank you so very much, Pancake.
She's the captain of thousands.
That's right. We are trying. We are
I'm
dual
just the
streaming.
captain of hundreds.
Such weird, funny language. But at least, like, once again, unlike the Mormons, that's the one thing that they weren't trying to fudge. But we're sending love to our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch fans. We are dual streaming out on the Twitchosphere, so feel free to join us. But I'm going for like another 60 seconds. I got excited for Jamie Russell. Feel free to join us.
He doesn't bite hard.
That's right, unless you're into that, or any other theist or anyone else out there. If not, we're heading towards the after show, but it's been a fun episode. It's been a whole genocide, if I could use that in a positive way, and I can't. But yeah.
Try to put perfume on that pig.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you. But I mean, just imagine, like, how nice is it, Amy, that we don't have to go around making excuses for this God. Just like the fact that we don't have to go around making excuses why all of science looks like evolution is true and the world is a lot older than 6,000 years, but it just looks that way because it's all wrong.
It's just trying to trick you. That's the devil's greatest trick, James. He just wants you to not believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hides fossils right underground.
The greatest trick the devil ever did was convincing people he didn't exist.
There you go. But all right.
He's got you fooled, Amy.
He's got me fooled. We sell timeshares for him in hell every once in a while, right near the lovely Lake of the Damned. You can hear people screaming for hours. It's fantastic if you're into that.
Amy loves it.
Woohoo! Can't get enough. Apparently this God can't either, because he really likes killing people. Like, really likes killing people.
Well, like Mary Baxter, she said in her book, Divine Revelations of Hell, because God actually took her on a tour of hell. And she said that the UFOs, which are really with demons in it, they're not alien, they're demons, that they're delivering the souls to hell, that they like stop and like the souls fall out of the UFO and they
Can we just appreciate, though,
down into the fire.
I just want to appreciate what a tour to hell would be like. Like, as if Satan comes in, like, welcome to hell. And if you'd walk this way, it's actually going to begin. So if you can see back here, we have people's organs being ripped apart. We have Kevin kind of working on that. He's just great at kind of like screwing up the whole thing. But if we keep on loving, we have things being shoved up places you don't like over here being worked by Sarah. Sarah, are you doing well? Oh, Sarah loves her job. So keep on coming.
Yeah.
Hell's a big place. The logistics, it falls out after a while.
Like at Fatima, the first secret of Fatima, there were 3. Was the Virgin Mary took the 3 children in Portugal on a tour of hell. She took them down to hell. She was with them, so
As
they
you
were
do.
okay. But yeah. And in fact, she told one of the 3 children that he would almost certainly end up being in hell one day. And, nice of her to, stay positive.
It's nice, exactly. Send out that positive energy. What is up, Pat?
Hey, Pat.
We are actually about to head out of here. I will say you can come on to say maybe an outro, or if someone joins us, we'll put some time. I think we're about to be going out. Maybe come on to the after party.
We're about to go out.
Yeah, I'm sending love, though. I was hoping a theist. Pat is amazing, and maybe we probably could have gotten we've been talking about wisdom, but that's why you need to watch both Pat's episode, not only on a sacred, on an archaeological look at sacredness, but also an archaeological look at is absence of evidence of absence. And it turns out that the answer is a resounding maybe. Because sometimes, it depends. Sometimes when you don't have evidence, we shouldn't really leap to conclusions. We can't just say, okay,
Not
we
everything
haven't
is
found something.
Going to be preserved.
Exactly. Therefore, we haven't found aliens yet, in my opinion. I believe we may one day, or at least the possibility. At
They're
least
almost
seems
certainly out
probable
there somewhere.
in the natural world. Yeah, and we have an example of it. So at least we have one. Where there's one, there's oftentimes many. So we don't have that with a God. And so the funny thing is after enough repeated looks where
you would
at
expect
least
to find some
creationist believers tell us we would expect to find some, and we find goose eggs. And so it starts to make us think that, well, maybe nothing's there at all.
Maybe that's the reason we're not finding anything. Maybe there's nothing there. Yeah.
And all right, I think we are going to end it on that note. Thank you so much
Dale.
for best in show. And so much love. Dale says your shows are great and your content explanations are so helpful. We are so
trying.
We are so thankful. We are so amazed that we have all of your guys' fantastic support. Couldn't have done it without you, and there's more fun to come. And with that, I think we're heading over to the after party on Discord. This has been the Skeptic Bible Study, the Midianite Massacre. We are moving into outros.
Send them in.
Woohoo! But that's right. It's been, I want to say, a genocide of a good time. At least it has been for the Israelite Shmishmalites. But James, I hope you had a good time tonight.
Oh, well,
and help us land that plane.
Thanks for coming along for the ride with us. Check out Amy tomorrow night on Tang. She'll be the tranny source rep of their LGBT party, so that will no doubt trigger lots of Christians. So go ahead and support that, and it's a great channel. I'm sure everybody here is a Tang Tart subscriber. And then we have a debate coming up. It's either going to be this weekend or early next week. And then we have a show that we're going to premiere soon. It's been pre-recorded. It's almost done edited. That we're coming up with a special guest host, someone who knows Ken Hovind very closely. So lots of water coming up in that episode. Thanks, guys.
Woohoo! Thank you so very much, James. I am so excited about that interview. I think it's going to be fantastic once we get it up. And
Up.
Yeah, that's right. So,
it will be fantastic.
Some men and some people have a little bit. We're sending love, even if it takes a pill, ladies and gentlemen. But that
or
Tang
multiple
show
pills.
or multiple pills is up there too. So go check out that Tang live show tomorrow. LGBTQ, the assumptions, perspective, and reality. How do we do better?
Your very
education.
own source.
That's right. Information, conversations, and cancellation in open conversation. And I just want to send a shout out to Jagay Jesus, student Dr. Ben, and Beck, who will also be with me there tomorrow. Woo-hoo. And that's right, baby. And all right.
Your yoga instructor is gay? I didn't know.
Look, sometimes you gotta know with the fabulous hair. The kitty overlord was scratching, then they weren't. And no, we're sending love to anyone who has fabulous hair, but he also has fabulous hair. Whether you're gay or straight, we love you, or bi. No matter atheist, theist, liberal, conservative, come as you are, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, just not on my flags. Everybody's gotta be picky. Everybody's gotta have a thing. Or what is everybody's got a gimmick. I'm trying to do Falcon. But yes, I hope you all had a fun time on this episode of Skeptic Bible Study, the Midianite Massacre. Where tonight God commanded Moses to slaughter the majority of the Midianites, keep the virgin girls for themselves, and plunder what is left. Because he's the good guy. Of course. I want to thank my co-host, James W. Woohoo! Along with our awesome mods who make this stream so great, the lovely people in chat, and of course, viewers like you. If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. Then you get access to that bell icon so you can hit all and get reminders to see our live streams or our premieres. And hey, maybe leave a comment after the video's done. If you'd like to come join us, we will be heading to the Skeptic and Ranting Discord after, with a link in the description below. And finally, if you'd like to help us make even more fun content, we offer unique perks for your support at patreon.com/Amy Newman. I am Amy Newman, and we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z.
Keep drinking the water.
Everyone. Water.